How have you implemented the partial withdrawal and what are the achievements now?
I think it has been well received by the members. The timing and the intention seem to have been very well understood by the people. It was quite a novel idea because in the history of social security, we may be, if I'm not mistaken, the first type of pension scheme, which is called the defined contribution scheme, that has managed, defined benefit scheme, that has managed to implement an early access to funds by its members. Most of the international practice, that is, or international learnings, that are lessons that are there, it's from a defined contribution kind of scheme, which is more like a savings account. Ours is more like a communal scheme, but even from there we're able to meet the policy directive from the UPND government that had high on its agenda the need to reform the pension system, not only to be more responsive to the members' needs, but also its role in economic development of the country. But above all, I think the challenge to us is to improve the level of service that we provide to our members. So from the partial withdrawal, a very well received benefit, one of its kind, I must say, on the continent. We are very few. I only know of Uganda on the continent that has implemented that, although they are on a different type of scheme. Otherwise, it's the examples to learn from might only be us and Uganda. In terms of the response from the people, quite overwhelming. In the first few days, I think we had estimated how many people would respond to the reform by government to introduce partial withdrawal. But up to now, we managed to respond to that very well. I think thanks very much to the staff of NAPSA. We're very committed and you understood the importance of the new benefit. And as a policy directive, we're able to stand up and be counted and deliver the government policy. We have now paid up more than 400,000 members and the tune of about 9.9 billion now. It's still going. It's not a one-off. The withdrawal itself is one-off, but the benefit is not one-off. The benefit is permanent. So every month, every day, every year, there's someone qualifying that can claim their partial withdrawal.
Okay. Now, just hinging on that, how do you describe partial withdrawal as one of the reforms in the pension scheme system?
Like I said, I think it was quite a novel idea from the new government, or the government, that looked at trying to address certain needs in society. I think the new Dawn government has been big on saying investment. We are the investors, the owners of the country, the people, the individuals. It's not the foreign or big entities that should be investors, but investment is from an individual level. And to that extent, they also understood or understand the need for good post-work-life incomes, and therefore the encouragement was, let's share the burden. Whilst the NAPSA is trying to do it in a particular structured way, which is more communal or added together, at individual levels, they can also empower the people and make sure that they make their investment decisions. At the end of it all, those investment decisions plus the NAPSA savings secure a better post-work life income. So it was quite novel, and we are beginning to share lessons with other countries that would like to know how Zambia managed to implement that. It wasn't easy, but it took a lot of coordination with the government, the private sector, in terms of banks, mobile phone companies, and also the labor movement and the Federation of Employers. All these were involved in crafting how the benefit itself was going to be delivered. Of course, led by our parent ministry that was coordinating the engagement with the stakeholders and also the private sector, Mainly when I say stakeholders, I'm talking about the labor movement and the Federation of Employers. But also even when the product was ready or we were ready with the option for delivery, the ministry also was very instrumental in bringing together the financial sector to get their views before it was presented to cabinet. So one of those reforms where you can say the consultation was very broad, a lot of stakeholders were given an opportunity. Even when it went to Parliament brought in, the committees brought in experts from all walks of life to try and make their presentation as to how they felt the new police directive or the intended policy, the invitations were going to be delivered. So it was quite a very good learning experience. But I think what we came out of that is, for police to be effective, there has to be a meeting of minds between the policy formulators, the administrators, and the intended recipients of the policy. Once they all work together, the results are what you saw.
Okay. Finally, on the partial withdrawal, there are those with a most dissent view that the payment would collapse NAPSA. How have you managed to navigate that?
I think we blame ourselves as NAPSA for not letting people know what NAPSA is.
Yes.
I think the partial withdrawal has helped to alert people that I think there's an institution, their institution called NAPSA, which is quite sound financially. Even from the administration side, we still have a lot of room to improve, though. We recognize that and we shall improve. But what came out was a lot of people now begin to understand the role that NAPSA plays in the economy and how well entrenched NAPSA is in terms of its financial capabilities. That is a very good positive for NAPSA, and we would like people to be very proud of their institution. It's their money, it's their institution, and all we do is try to manage it for them. Thank you.
Okay. Then, as we progress in our interview, what other reforms have been implemented at NAPSA under the European administration in the last year?
So, from the policy side, we have the reduction of the penalty waiver from 20, or the penalty rate from 20 to 10%. All that was brought in by government to try and make sure that there's a little bit more relief for working capital for the businesses to plow back into the business. Remember, the agenda is bigger. Create more economic activity, create more jobs. And the only way you do that is to allow those who are invested in those businesses to plow back some of that money to expand their businesses. That was some of the intention, to make sure that while the issue of paying for contribution for the employees is quite a noble cause, they should not be suffocated or stifled by the penalties that may arise from non-compliance. So that's one of the key initiatives or the key UPND policy measures that we implemented. The second one was the introduction of the waiver, which, while the penalty reduces the sanction amount, the waiver now goes to actually get rid of the sanction, the penalty amount for past offences. And that has been very well received as well. We are still encouraging most of those who qualify, who we have reached out to individually, to come and take advantage of the offer from government. I think it's progressing very well, and we'll be able to share more information with you as we go on. Then the last one was the closure of ZNPF. That is also going very well. We have paid quite significant amounts as well. So it was 2022 to 2023 was a year full of reform, government intended reforms for NAPSA. On our side, looking inward, we also took heed of the issue that you hear the president always talking about: service, improved service. The way you have to know if you're in public service, who your kings are and your masters are, and serving the owners of the scheme. Obviously, from the beginning, I think the messaging was very clear. We needed to improve our service delivery to the people. I think the president and Our ministry kept on, it's a topic they kept on hinting on that NAPSA could do better. And we have responded to that. We are setting in measures. We've done our own internal restructuring, thanks to the board that approved that for us. The whole intention is just to improve the level of service delivery. One of the key things that we are focusing on is we don't want you to have to wait for your benefits. We know who you are. You have been contributing for a long time to the scheme. We shouldn't suddenly forget that you are retiring at a certain age, which you told us how old you were when you joined the scheme. We have all this information, so we are trying to use that information to make it easier for the members. So instead of you triggering your claim, we should be the ones advising you that your money has been paid. The only question we ask you is, at what age do you want to retire? When you indicate which age, we process your payments, and with the easiest of interaction with us. We want to eliminate the issue of what you saw during the partial withdrawal, that a lot of people queuing up. It helps us understand what the causes of those queues were. It wasn't just the appetite of the people to claim, but it told us that there was something we needed to work on in-house. We've started working on that. But you'll be happy to learn that even during the time when you're seeing those queues, out of the 400,000 people that claimed, 37% of them never came here. They started the process online, and it hit their accounts all online, no physical interaction with anyone from NAPSA. And they actually managed to claim their benefits in a shorter period than those who came to queue. Some of those, it was averaging 4 hours, and you'll get payment. At the maximum, we said within a day when they got their money. So those are some of the improvements we are trying to bring in. Obviously, the other issue from the investment perspective, we have been saying I think the NAPSA, the owners want to see the NAPSA that helps to solve the nation's challenges. I think that's the only way we can acquit ourselves well, that the money for the Zambian people is working for them. So we will see a slight change in the way we do our investment approaches, in trying to work closely with the government policy and other entities within government and other entities that look like us, workers' compensation, PSPF, to come together and see how we can intervene in ourselves using the Zambian capital to transform or to address economic challenges that our country is facing. So that, I think, is well much in line with the UPND government's policies on having our own solutions ourselves, changing who we are, entrepreneurial or whatever spirit starting with us ourselves and not depending on outsiders. So basically, maybe limit the number of trips we make begging people to contribute.
Okay, changing well brought it on that one. We conclude, just give us briefly an analysis of how you have moved as NAPSA in terms of expediting payment of several pensioners under your scheme, because the President has placed emphasis on ensuring that pensioners get money as quickly as possible.
I think for us that's target number one. It's there in our strategy. What we are trying to do is cut down on interaction, on interface with us for you to get your benefits. So far it's working very well. We have a proof of concept. We have a project that we call 0 days for paying benefits. That is our target, it's our objective. We have agreed that with our board. Everything we do is focused towards reducing the time that people have to wait to get their benefits. Those that are predictable, like retirement, we know where we're going to retire. We should be ready to pay you ourselves without you triggering the process. So we are sort of trying to change the way the process itself works. But to do that, we need your involvement as the owner of the account. So you've seen that you are receiving messages from NAPSA letting you know that we have received money for you or we haven't received money from your employer. That is all trying to help to ensure that your account is in a position that when it's time to retire, there are no queries. We can pay you. Yes, you'll be receiving. Thank you for confirming that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.